Superpowers may be the stuff of science fiction, but certain animal species possess superpowers, or at least engage in activities that we might attribute to superheroes or sometimes supervillains. From starting fires, strategically bleeding from the eyes, protecting other species at sea, living as a snake that gets airborne, and being a walking incendiary weapon, here are some freaks, special operators, and rogues of the living world that will certainly expand our view of critter can do. Number 10. The Firebird Hunters. Winged and feathered pyromaniacs hunt by fire, according to some rather hot theories put forward based on Australian ornithological observation. While further hard scientific investigation is warranted, it appears that certain raptors, such as kites, will pick up small smouldering or flaming sticks and then drop them in strategic areas to advance grass fires in their favor. Work published in the Journal of Ethnobiology describes the account of a firefighter who witnessed a whistling kite in Australia restarting and spreading fire by picking up burning sticks. So what does the apparent advantage of spreading fires appear to be? Well, fires flush out or burn prey, allowing easy capture or scavenging of dead remains. Animals fleeing the advancing face of a fire have nowhere to go but away from the bank of the flames. This would allow the birds to find a relatively easy meal. Birds of many species are naturally adept at gathering small sticks to build well-engineered nests, suggesting that this same stick-gathering aptitude may be harnessed by select birds of prey and applied for more, shall we say, high stakes and extreme purposes. It's already well known that birds feed along the face of fires, while many species drop shells strategically to break them open. Using fire to create a hunting opportunity presents a profound twist of ornithology, deserving further investigation. Number 9. The Whale Guardians of the Perilous Sea. Whales may be enormous, but true whales tend to be gentle giants, with the majority of species concentrating their feeding efforts on plankton and small fish. In contrast, orca or killer whales are actually giant, hyper-intelligent predatory dolphins that hunt almost anything in the ocean, depending on the type of orca in question. Transient orca populations are known as ravenous eaters of whales larger than themselves, while all orca are apex predators. And where that danger to other sea life posed by orca hunting behavior exists, a surprising phenomenon of apparent protection of intended prey, including species as random and diverse as sunfish seals and the young of other whale species, has been carried out by guardian humpback whales. Apparently perceiving the carnage of orca hunts in a negative light, these determined humpback citizens on patrol have been acting as oceanic bodyguards to species finding themselves on the menu for orca dinners. In one case, a seal was sheltered from a predatory orca attack, while in another instance, humpback whale adults gave up a favorite food that they were themselves targeting, a swarm of shrimp-like krill, to focus instead on defending a grey whale calf from a hungry orcapod. Number 8. The Bleeding Lizards. Crocodile tears may be a physiological reality, but a number of species belonging to a group of smaller reptiles, the diminutive and dragon-like horned lizards native to North America, take things a step further. Predators might want a mouthful of lizard meat, but apparently a mouthful of squirted blood, or a mess of blood on a would-be hunter's face, is a fair deterrent. The bizarre superpower of squirting blood from the eyes in an act of strange self-defense is held by 8 or more horned lizard species, thanks to special blood-filled sinus cavities located around the reptile's eye sockets. Upon perceiving a threat such as a coyote or a bobcat wanting the lizard as a meal, horned lizard species squirt distasteful blood from the eye socket with great force, discouraging the meal. Specialized muscles tighten to concentrate blood flow from large veins into thin membrane-bearing ocular sinuses. With sufficient force, the membrane will burst, launching sprays of blood to a distance of up to 4 feet. Resembling a tiny triceratops dinosaur with its horny adornments behind the eyes and armored body, horned lizards with blood-squirting capabilities enjoy excellent compensatory defense considering their small size. Interestingly, the vein flow to the sinuses can be controlled to flush debris away from the desert-dwelling animal's eyes, swelling the membranes. Number 7. The Flying Snakes. Dragons may be creatures of legend, but something that makes even the thought of pigs flying seem possible exists and thrives after millennia of evolution in rainforests extending from India to Indonesia. Flying snakes spread out the skin on their body by extending their ribs, allowing them to glide magically from one tree to another in pursuit of food and to avoid larger hunters. There are 5 species of flying snakes that exist, all having the ability to slither through the air at high speeds in a beautiful glide, ranging between 2 and 4 feet in length. Flying snakes snakes are venomous predators but pose little threat to humans, as their fangs are positioned towards the back of their jaws and cannot easily deliver an effective bite. Flying snakes prepare to get airborne by hanging suspended in the shape of a letter J at a strategic point on a tree branch. Next, the snake uses its rear muscles to spring from the tree, moving its body into the shape of the letter S once in the air. The snake then forms a concave shape with the cross-section of its body while stretching laterally to twice its original width. The resulting aerodynamic shape traps air under the snake's body as it glides through the air. Researchers think the precise purpose of this flying ability is either for easy travel between trees in the forest canopy, predator avoidance, or to catch up with its prey. Number 6. Hairy frog. A frog with sharp claws might seem scary, but even more horrible but remarkable is the way in which the hairy frog, named for its weird body bristles, shall we say, procures its weapons for self-defense. The grotesque-looking hairy frog, native to Central African regions, including the country of Cameroon, actually has specialized musculoskeletal adaptations in its hind feet, which allow sharp bone pieces to protrude through its flesh. Scientists from the Museum of Comparative Zoology at Harvard University, who were studying the frog's disconcerting adaptation, reached the conclusion that the behavior was a strange form of self-defense. Specialized muscle contractions in the frog's hind feet allow a razor-sharp fragment to detach from the main toe bone section by breaking bone-joining collagen tissue, subsequently slicing right through the frog's skin, creating dangerous claws while avoiding any catastrophic blood loss. While injury and pain would seem to be inherent in the action, the balance of risk and harm seems to be in favor of the frog and against the predators. Essentially, this frog is the Wolverine of the animal kingdom. The hairy frog is a formidable predator in its own right, having sharp teeth and a habit of seizing a variety of animals as prey. Number 5. Bombardier Beetle. Molten lava comes from the earth, while chemical weapons are seen as the domain of certain mad scientists or military plotters not concerned about facing the consequences of violating international law. Yet among the incredible variety of insect species found on this planet, formidable chemical weapons are unleashed in a burning, acrid furnace of directed attack by a different group of species that belongs to the uniquely diverse and familiar taxonomic group of beetles. Over 500 species of bombardier beetles go about their daily business on all continents, save for Antarctica, appearing like a normal insect. Hidden inside their hard abdomen are two separate compartments of highly reactive chemicals consisting of hydrogen peroxide in one section and hydroquinone in the other. Already well protected by a highly developed exoskeleton, bombardier beetles react to provocation and potential predatory attacks by shooting out the two chemical components in streams that then mix and react furiously in a boiling mixture of acrid horror that may reach 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Burns to everything from the faces of predatory insects to human skin may result if the beetle is approached too closely. In one research project, over 40% of bombardier beetles swallowed by toads were vomited out alive after successfully going off inside the toads, calmly struggling back to their feet and walking off as a survivor of the attack by the amphibious predator. Some survivors have even been inside the stomach of a toad for over an hour. Number 4. The Sand Striker. Worms may be thought of as soft or a lowly form of life. However, it might come as a disturbing surprise that giant, carnivorous, horrendous worms lie submerged below the waves and buried in the sand, with only their formidable slicing jaws protruding. Known as the sand striker or bobbit worm, it occurs in warmer oceanic waters around the globe. The predatory worms are known to reach 10 feet in length, far larger than the popular imagination anyone would have of a worm. And these jaws are razor-sharp, bone-hard fangs with dentition that snap and simply chop prey in half upon the launch of a surprise attack. The fangs inject a venomous concoction, allowing disproportionately large prey to be digested. Equipped with sensory systems that allow passing prey to be detected with ease, the worms lie motionless in deep burrows, only to burst forth when their prey sensor system is triggered by a creature that happens to stray too close. Lacking brains, these worms make up for their lack of intelligence by A. having the bone-like fangs, which cut prey with surgical precision and incredible force, and B. their size. Additionally, they can inflict an awful bite on humans should one accidentally put a finger or hand in the vicinity of their strike. Number 3. Climbing perch. Perch are generally seen as the classic lake-dwelling fish, but one family of air-breathing relatives of the famed betta or Siamese fighting fish is named after typical perch, but actually can move about effectively on land. Not perches proper, but simply forming a family of fish in the perciforms, which includes true perches. The various species of climbing perch, also known as climbing goramis, are handsome little fish with a compact, rounded build and innocent appearance. Climbing perch measure between 4 inches and 1 foot in length, depending on the species, and use their terrestrial locomotion abilities to find new water when their home pools dry up. Native to tropical regions of Asia, including parts of China, the fish actually hoist themselves out of the water and proceed to climb using their gill covers as resting points. With the gill covers providing a point of leverage, the fish then propel themselves forward with the locomotive power of their tail fin. The typical fish requirement of water in order to breathe is bypassed by the air-breathing organ known as a labyrinth that climbing perch possess. While claims have been made that the fish can climb into vegetation such as trees, such a degree of adaptation allowing a transition from terrestrial to arboreal activity has not been proven. Number 2. Hoatzin. A bird with clawed hands might seem to be the very definition of prehistorically themed science fiction, but that is exactly what the Hoatzin juvenile represents. When young, this species uses clawed hands protruding from its wings to climb trees in swampy areas. Native to extensive northern regions of the South American continent and significantly established in the Amazon River basin, the Hoatzin looks something like a pheasant or certain mythical depictions of a phoenix with its peculiar hues of color as well as its crest, elongated body, and stout bill. Unlike most birds, the Hoatzin can digest leaves, which form a significant part of its diet, along with fruits and flowers. In order to effectively digest leaves, the Hoatzin possesses an enormously large crop, which limits its flying abilities but allows the bird to ruminate in a manner akin to cattle. When a predator attacks a group of Hoatzins, the fluffy-looking young birds will drop into the water below their mangrove or riparian forest home and then scramble back up into the canopy using their wing claws. Each wing has 2 once the threat is abated. The only species in its order, the primitive bird, remains a strange tangent of avian evolution with superpowers of juvenile survival. Number 1. Mantis Shrimp. Shrimp might be a synonymous for small or weak animal, yet the bizarre and dangerous crustaceans known as mantis shrimp are seemingly normal-looking, albeit colorful marine crustaceans that can combine the hardness of their exoskeleton with a karate punch of unbelievable speed and force. And what is the function of this ability to hit with unimaginable strength? Well, that's to crack open the hard shells of clams and other shellfish that the mantis shrimp wants to devour. Striking with a force exceeding 330 pounds and more than 23 meters per second, that's 53 miles per hour, using specially adapted club-like appendages, mantis shrimp can shatter almost any protective armor in order to take down its prey. A locking mechanism and a spring allow for incredible energy releases. Unfortunately for researchers, a mantis shrimp blow could also destroy a glass aquarium or a finger bone upon impact. The blow is powerful enough to create cavitation bubbles as well as light flashes generated by the bubble collapse. The shockwave alone associated with a blow can cause prey to die even if the mantis shrimp does not make physical contact. Other varieties of mantis shrimp use spearing appendages to capture prey instead of blunt force. While not technically falling into the category of decapod shrimp, which includes the type served commonly for dinner, mantis shrimp have a shrimp-like appearance and impression, hence their name. More than 400 species of mantis shrimp occur globally, mostly in tropical waters. Most commonly, mantis shrimp grow to just under 4 inches in length, though a massive 18 inches has been recorded. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, give us a thumbs up below. Also, don't forget to check out our other channel, Biographics. You'll find a link to that on the screen now. And as always, thank you for watching.